Thank you to Sakura Co. and Tokyo Tree for sponsoring this week's video. Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 6 of Shogun. The last episode was just filled with tension, with twists, turns, and just some bad luck, man. Especially with that quake, that landslide that nearly took out Toranaga himself, but did successfully manage to take out a large portion of the men that he just brought down from the north. With the Regents continuously failing to get everything under control, Lady Ochiba herself has kind of stepped into the ring to kind of take matters into her own hands. And that's kind of where we left off with last episode. So let's go ahead and hop in. If you want to see the full length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you got a Maribel channel, it gives you access as well. It is in a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes for reacting to the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while, since you're going to be support channel. But guys, at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. Please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. With that all said out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 6. Ladies of the Willow World. Here we go. 22 years ago.
こちらがマリコ殿じゃ。そしてマリコ殿の父上、明智仁斎殿。わしの新たな家臣じゃ。
何故あんなに腹を立って放っているのじゃ。
明智殿、当たれよ。死をおなされ。お気持ちはわかるが、今はその時ではね。
Oh, wow. Ooh. What the?
ねえに戻れマリコ。または夢を見ておるのじゃ。
Oh, wow.
"何故私を嫁がせるのか分かりませぬ。そなたが文太郎殿に嫁げば両家ともに申し分のない縁が結ばれよう。戸田家に何の値打ちもないことはご存知でござりましょう。
Oof.
マリコ、我が最愛なる娘、お前の悩み苦しむ姿に心が痛む。常に従順な子であったお前にも大義のために尽くす時が来た。使命は受け継がれるもの、それが全てなのじゃ。
Damn.
我らは多くのものを失うた。死んだ者たちへの断腸の念に皆耐えられぬと思うておるやもしれず。されど死は必ず生の終わりに訪れるものじゃ。すなわち死は生きた証でもある。安心、これ昨日の地震で安心はわしの命を救うてくれた。こたびで2度目じゃ。安心には神奈川近くに600石の治療を安堵いたす。
For your bravery, he has decided to grant you a fief that will provide an annual salary of 600 koku.
また関東水軍の大将に任じ、大砲隊の大将も兼ねてもらうことといたす。
He has also made you his chief admiral
And a
and general of
general.
the cannon regiment.
安心が大砲隊の采配を取るのでございますか。いつ負け戦に引っ張り出されるか分かるという時に、お前という男は万人一人にいつまでもこだわりよって。
He makes a very good point. At this point, this scheming is kind of pointless right now, unless he pulls something else out of his ass.
Et imite nobis debita nostrum.
Power and the glory forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Damn, dude, look at that.
殿の丘を武太郎にる将軍、その方の家中、また我が旗本の屋敷に恥をかかせたのじゃ。
あれがそばにおると俺を忘れてしまい。
ならば離縁せよ。
ご容赦くだされませ。長い年月を過ごしてまいりましたゆえ、拙者はかように思っておりました。
Why not?
マリコの父が謀反を起こした後もあれの命を助けてやれば、マリコはありがたく思うてくれるだろうと。されどマリコの氷のような素振りは変わりませんが、死を賜りたいとそう繰り返すばかりで、何年経っても氷は溶けません。あの男に対しては違うのでございます。
マリコはわしの申し付けに従うておるだけじゃ。そなたには欠けた資質じゃな。よいか。これより7日の間、マリコに近づくことまかりなら。
Wow. You need to take a 7-day vacation away from this shit, dude. Get your head together. Speak of the devil, too.
I must ask why he lavished me with the gift of his cannon regiment last night.
He asks if you refuse them.
That's not what he asked.
I'm unable to serve him in the way he wishes me to, so I wish to leave. I were to remain in the Japans. I would formally ask, again, for the return of my ship. I could attack the Portuguese Black Ship at sea, harming trade to the ports controlled by his Catholic rivals on the council. I'm told their names are Kiyama and Ono, thus stifling the flow of Portuguese Catholic wealth and its accompanying power, which will ultimately be brandished against him and his country.
This is not in our Lord's interest.
I'm sorry, were you going to translate? Believe me, the Portuguese are neither here for the good of Japan nor Toranaga-sama. They are here to gain in the name of their god.
Why do you cling to this? I am reminded an interpreter should interpret only.
Well, seeing as you are my interpreter, and nothing more, I would politely ask you to tell him Portugal is friendly only to their profits.
ポルトガル人が火の元にいるのは利益のためだけであると信じておられまする。
I mean, that they are.
That is all for now.
そなたは残れ。そなたとアンジンの間に何があるのじゃ。
何も。言葉のみに。
He caught this last time. You can't really hide it that well.
アンジンが望むものはやらぬことにいたす。代わりにあれの頭が冷えるよう一晩茶屋で遊ばせる膳立てを頼む。そこで一番上等の遊女を買うてやれ。
私が掛け合いまする。
アンジンの友もいたせ。
Oh.
通じ役じゃ。アンジンが枕を交わしながら話す折に入りようじゃろう。
Oh, what is going on here? Oh! Oh.
城内に閉じ込められてござる。トラナガ様が不利になる日を無理強いするつもりか。
Ochiba's making her move.
親族には無理じゃ。どれのご中心は広松殿。そなたにお任せいたします。いやしかし。どうか言ってください。
Oh wow! I hope nothing happens to them, man. Well, we haven't seen him in a hot minute, or any of them for that matter.
What has happened, Eminence?
I thought it was this guy. So
This campaign to eliminate Toranaga, it has accelerated since her return.
That woman has no such power.
I would not underestimate her, Eminence. Child of a murdered Busho, the only consort to give the Taiko an heir, and she despises the church. I think the time has come for us to turn towards Toranaga as an ally.
That man is a Mino warrior, Martin. Let us pray that we can bring him to our side when this is done.
Blackthorne's not wrong, man, but he seems to at least have his head on his shoulders a little bit. This younger one, I forget his name.
ルリ姫様、お召し替えよ。すぐにお逃げくださりませ。お父上が都でお命を奪われますでございます。決して戻ってはなりませぬぞ。
Is this revenge or what?
そなたのお父上のご逝去にはお悔やみ申し上げまする。哀れなものじゃ。浮くも沈むも宿命次第。我が夫が天下人であること、また私が夫の世継ぎを埋めなんだことをご存知か。これは100年以上前から我が一族に伝わる品。我らにおの子を産んでくれる側室に譲ろうと思っておる。
Yeah, this is a long con. I wouldn't say con, but she's using this to her advantage to kind of strike back at maybe the ones she holds responsible.
そなたは能の名人じゃ、伊藤殿。ただし、伊藤殿の方が私がお仕えした太閤様より背丈が高いようじゃ。
この膝から下を切り落とすことさえできますれば。
Commitment to my craft.
伊藤殿をお選びになった落ち葉の方様のお知恵には敬服いたしました。太閤様はご生前どの女子よりも落ち葉の方様を褒めておられましたぞ。そのわけが拙者にも腑に落ちてございまする。
太閤様のあの豪胆さが懐かしいこと。
太閤様の影の中で生きているようなもの。
とはいえ、 太閤様にも手落ちはあった。虎長を殺さずじまいだったことじゃ。
何故かようなまでに虎長を憎むのでござる。
虎長を滅ぼすのじゃ。さすれば我らはそなたの影について語ることになろう。
Oh no.
Oh,
okay. He just persevered until he got here. I was like, he wasn't dead on horseback, right? Yeah, there's a personal vendetta at play here, that's for sure, but... I'm not exactly sure what Ochiba wants out of this or is getting out of this. Obviously, her father was killed. She had this attachment to Mariko as well. I'm not sure exactly how Toranaga fits into this. From her standpoint, that is.
Shogun か。でもいたさん。時の猶予がある今、あえて危険を冒す愚がありましょうや。
待ってる糸間がどこにあるのじゃ。
先祖代々の意向を取り返し、将軍におなりくだされ。父上は戦では負け知らず。
俺はわしが戦を先に仕掛けたことがないからじゃ。こうでもいたさん。わしは将軍の位を望んだことなどない。今後も望まぬ。
He doesn't want it.
400問目は譲れませぬ。虎長様は一晩存分に楽しまれたいのでございましょう。
まあこれは失礼を。虎長様ではござりませぬ。お菊は安仁様への褒美にござりまする。
ということはあなた様もご一緒に。いえ、ただあなた様と安仁様は片時も離れる仲という話を耳にしたもので。
Fuji is just like, what is going on here?
なぜ虎長公が万人を徴用なさるのか、合点がいかぬ。
万人なぞ私は何とも思っておりません。
You better not make some kind of fucking move in here, man.
Usually wives like me are not permitted to go through the gate. But in this case, a special exception has been made.
Does Toranaga-sama know about?
There is nothing to know. Gin's tea house is famed for its many wonders, but we must be careful. Our every gesture is being observed.
この美しき世に安仁様をお迎えできましたこと、光栄に存じまする。
Does feel like we're being watched.
We must try our best to find this as pleasurable as possible.
No, I might have found this pleasurable.
By not making a scene. For both of our sakes. Compliment the way she poured your sake. It is considered a rare art. Courtesans like Kikudono study it for years.
You pour very well.
Kikudonoのお酌を褒めておられまする。
何もかもが違うておるのでございましょうね。
She assumes it is different from where you're from.
Where I come from, our prostitutes are neither this well presented nor as inquisitive.
ご自分の国の方がお気に召すようでございまする。
I don't necessarily think that's what he's meant or said, but okay.
ここは誰の目にも届かぬ場所にございます。明かりもお望み次第で真っ暗闇になりまする。女は女の苦しみを見過ごせぬもの。
I think that he sent them both here for a reason, because he senses the stress between the two of them. And he's like, both of you, de-stress. Stop this shit.
She wishes to explain to you the meaning of the Willow World.
こちらにおいでになる方は皆様忘れたいものをお持ちでございまする。退屈、痛み、苦しみ、落胆。
She's disappearing behind Mariko.
From
Because
boredom
it's
or
about
pain,
her. Oh, she's completely
hardship or
gone.
disappointment.
I mean, she's probably there, yeah. But like...
They believe this place is about physical pleasure,
それだけではないでございまする。
But it can be more.
私がお相手をする方々は
The people she meets wish for a different life or circumstance.
別のところへ行きたいと。
She's
They want to
speaking
be in a
about her
place other
through
than where
her.
they are. I offer you relief from this and safety to create one perfect moment that you wish to inhabit completely. Settle your eyes on what you desire, my unclothed form, just as I am, with nothing between us.
Yep.
I ask you into my openness. I ask you.
今ここで私と一つになってください。
No. That was really well done and framed, man.
She invites you away with her now.
ご一緒に参りませぬか。
菊殿お一人でなくてはなりません。
Damn. Maybe that was the intent or the idea, or maybe I misread that all completely, but hoping they were given that opportunity to just be together without worrying about everything else for a moment. De-stress. Because he keeps talking about the shadow looming over the two of them and what may or may not be going on between the two of them. And
Please tell Lady Kiku I don't have the words to thank her.
安仁様は礼を述べておられまする。
またのお越しをとお伝えくださいませ。指折り数えてお待ちしておりまする。
She is honored.
That was an interesting little exchange of glances there.
落ち葉の方と仲が良かったように思うが、
落ち葉の方となられてからはお目にかかっておりません。
何があの娘を今のような女子に変えたのじゃと思う。
宿命苦難にござりましょう。
誰しも戦わねばならぬものがある。それでも大抵のものは非道な真似はせんものじゃ。
失礼ながらそれは殿方に限ったお話ではござりませぬか。殿方はさまざまな野望のために戦に出られまする。されど女子は常に戦うておるのでござりまする。
I like that.
そなたの父上がマリコが男に生まれておったならと申しておられたが、腑に落ちたわ。父上はそなたのために見事な策を練っておられたの。
ならば私の嫁ぎ先ももう少しお考えくださればようございましたのに。
マリコ殿気づいておらなんだのか。それも全て父上の策であったのじゃ。そなたを嫁がせることでできうる限り父の戦から遠ざけ、そなたを守ろうとしたのじゃ。いずれ父の戦を娘が受け継ぎ全うできるようにと。
She couldn't quite see why she was supposedly cast off as she felt, but was to keep her in the back pocket to be used at a later time.
父上を裏切ってしまいました。
いや、そなたの戦はまだ終わってはおらぬ。
戦議は十分尽くされた。伊藤殿はお世継ぎにも大老衆にも忠実なお方じゃ。ご一度評決を。
伊藤殿に賛同する。伊藤殿に賛同いたす。申し訳ないが評決はできぬ。お世継ぎを狙う企みがあるという確かな証はござらぬ。人質が一人残らず解放されるまで、それがしは票を投じるつもりは、太閤様のお望みをないがしろにしておるのはそなたではござらぬか。
火の元に誠の忠義を尽くす我らを愚弄するとは。
Well, okay.
拙者が杉山弾劾を申し立てまするゆえ、その後に次の手を打ちましょうぞ。
石堂殿は手玉に取られておる。その方、己の敵の正体が分かっておらぬのじゃ。前に聞いたの。何故私がかような思いをToranagaに抱くのかと。これまでの長い年月、私はずっと見て参ったのじゃ。あの男の耳打ちを、計りごとを。確かに我が父を手にかけたのは明智人災かもしれぬ。裏で糸を引いておったのはToranagaじゃ。あの男が誰にも見せぬ胸の内も私には見える。
So it's all about her father and Mariko's father being manipulated, so she says, into taking his life.
太后様のおの子を産むため、私が何をせねばならなかったか聞いておるか。他の誰にもできなかったことじゃ。何百人といた女子たちも大勢の側室たちも大王院様ですら、大王院様は私が身ごもるよう苦き薬草で酔わせ、口にできぬようなことを強いた。お世継ぎの母になれた私一人、何故かその方にはわかるか。宿命に我が姿を見せつけたからじゃ。故に宿命の目をえぐり出すことができたのじゃ。
起きろ、仕事いるぞ。
Oh no.
官僚風情組下それがしが愚かであったわ。どこまで行っても官僚よ。
Wow.
杉山殿が亡くなられた。大坂から脱出を図り、賊に
Killed by bandits. Yo.
直ちに指導は大老会議を支配するであろう。されど逆賊どもが太后様のお世継ぎにあだなす恐れあらば、必ずやお世継ぎをお守りいたす。好天じゃ。
I wonder why we curled in on him of all people right there. Damn, man. Hey guys, real quick, I want to take a break to talk about the sponsor of this week's video, and that is Sakura and Tokyo Tree, once again partnering up with the channel to help bring the tastes and flavors of Japan right into your very own home. Tokyo Treat is a monthly pop Japanese snack box that includes up to 20 exclusive limited edition and seasonally flavored Japanese snacks, including ramen and drinks that are only available in Japan for a limited time. While Sakura is a Japanese artisan snack box that helps support local Japanese snack makers and includes up to 20 traditionally made artisan crafted snacks, as well as teas and an exclusive tableware piece. As the cherry blossom season is still in full swing, both boxes are yet again uniting to celebrate the cherry blossom season with Tokyo Treats Sakura Matsuri Snack Fest box and Sakura Co's A Night of Sakura. Each box comes with a booklet that helps break down all the snacks contained within, so if you're not exactly sure what it is you're about to bite into, you can flip through these and find out everything you need to know about it, as far as where it comes from, what it is made of, if it has any common allergens, if it is vegetarian friendly, and they also have a plethora of other information, diving into the customs of the theme of the month, because if you want to celebrate the cherry blossom season, there's some recommended spots to go check out as well. We will start things off with this Tokyo Treat box. I want to start this off with this Sakura infused waffle cookie. It's got like a light kind of graham crackery kind of texture, but it's sweet, it's crisp, but not like too crunchy. It's a perfect balance as always. Next up, I want to try this Sakura Karinto. So these are basically made from fried bits of dough and rolling them through sweet sugar crystals. Now these have Sakura infused within them, and it kind of has this like somewhere between like a pretzel and a cookie kind of texture, and it's just really sweet and pleasant. Let's try the Sakura cream cake. I made a little bit of a mess. Who knew Sakura leaves could taste so good, man? I never even thought about it as like a food product at all. Last month we got a tea that was made out of just Sakura leaves, and that tasted lovely. I gotta put it down. We got another box to go into. All right, so we will check out the Sakura Co box now. We'll take a couple of bites out of some of these snacks. All right, I wanna try this real quick. It's a Sakura Castella. It's basically a Sakura infused with sugar pickled cherry blossom petals baked into basically a little slice of cake. Get rid of that. Don't want to eat that. Oh my god. That is so good. It's so light, fluffy, pillowy, and just sweet and not overpowering in the slightest. Let's try the Sakura Mochi. I do love me some mochi. And like I mentioned previously, with Sakurako, you always get an exclusive tea each month. This month is Blueberry Hibiscus. Oh, and that just goes down so nicely with all the snacks that we just consumed. And also exclusive to Sakurako, like we mentioned in the beginning, you also get with every box a unique tableware item to add to your collection. This month, we get this nice little Sakura glass. I highly recommend either one of these boxes because they are always chock full of fantastic tasting snacks, regardless of which one you go with. Highly recommend them. Since we've been partnered up with them, I have just enjoyed getting each one of these every single month. They make a fantastic gift, if not just for yourself, but for a loved one or anybody you just want to show some appreciation to, especially if they are a snack fiend. And to help you guys out with that, if you use the link down in the description of this video and enter promo code OMNI, that is OMN1, you can get $5 off your first box for either one of these. You'll be supporting yourself, a loved one, and the channel if you get a box today. And thank you again for Sakurako and Tokyo Treat for sponsoring this video. Man, just the tensions all throughout that everybody is kind of wrestling with, especially, you know, Blackthorne and Mariko. And just Mariko trying to understand what all led her here. Why is she still here? What was the point of all of it? And, you know, she got a little glimmer of that. Like, she was like, why was I married off to this guy of all people if my father truly valued me in any way, shape, or form? But it was all to position her away from all of this infighting, from being a target, for being in front and center, and this kind of, just this entire, like, machination, but to be held off in the back until the time was right for her to take charge and continue the fight. It was just to kind of set her aside so she wasn't wiped from the board that early. Because he did see potential with her. Obviously, she was a good fighter. She was raised in all the ways that he would hope. You know, she showed so much promise in almost every facet. Now, what I wonder, though, is while she did see these things, Ochiba did see Toranaga having his little whispers here and there, and Mariko's father, you know, eventually taking his life. You know, the story we've heard so far is that he was kind of a shithead. Because the story we've got from Mariko's side of it, at least, was that he was kind of a shithead. So he was cruel, he was unruly, he kind of oppressed the people that were under him. And it was almost like a Jaime Lannister situation, if we're making any kind of comparisons. Not that her father was anything like Jaime, but he ended up, for what they saw as the betterment of their people, that it was probably better or best to remove him from the equation. From her perspective, from Ochiba's, she's seen that, you know, she thinks this was all orchestrated by Toranaga, that it was this power grab by him, or that she places that blame on him in some way, shape, or form. We don't really know exactly, I guess, the truth of all of it at this point. You know, just before all of that took place, Mariko was married, and then after that whole thing happened, you know, after her father killed him, he was also forced to do what he did with their family, and that kind of outcast her from everything else, and then she was sent away. And they clearly had a relationship that was pretty strong. Like, you know, they were raised together, and there were tears shed when she was sent away. And then all of this happened, and given what she's been through and what she's seen, she seems like she's kind of on a quest to turn fate towards her, just to get revenge, to climb above all of these other machinations and not be under its thumb anymore. I don't know if it's so much about her father dying, or that was just the vehicle for her to be motivated to take her own fate into her own hands, to endure what she did to get what she wants out of life. And she's been able to orchestrate things up until this point to get to where she is right now. Like she said, out of all these women that were trying to give the Taiko an heir, she was the one that endured being drugged and who knows what else to produce one. And while the way everything works, like she can never directly be in control, she's positioned herself in a way that she is basically the puppeteer here. Everybody is just a mouthpiece, a vehicle for her intentions, whether it is now Ishido or just her own kid. Everything has been about positioning herself in a way that makes her the one that isn't in charge. So it's really interesting, especially considering if you like parallel how she's taken this journey, and versus how Mariko has been kind of living her life. You know, it's like kind of exactly the opposite, light and shadow in a way, that the routes that they've taken. But then we have this whole thing with the brothel where it was meant to kind of give them this escape. It's this place where they kind of create this illusory experience that takes you out of the world, out of your experiences, out of your past, your present, all of it, to try to just give you a perfect reprieve and moment to just escape. Or at least how I read that was Toranaga had intended for her to go there purposefully with him, not just as a translator, but to participate in one way or the other. I think he sees what's going on, because he keeps questioning why they are just clouded every time they come in. Like when they come into his presence together, there's just a cloud that follows them around, a presence of just discordant energy that he can just feel. It just reverberates the tension between these two. And I think he knows what's going on, because he's also pressuring What's-His-Face to divorce her, because he clearly, no one is happy in this situation. He's just not really willing to give her away or let her go in that way. I'm not exactly sure what it means to him right now in this way, especially if Toranaga was the one to put forth the suggestion. I kind of expected, and she was getting into it, man. When she was becoming the vehicle for Kiko's words, you could see that was working her up, just the promise of it all, the thought of it all. But then, you know, she stayed behind. She's just holding herself back from so much. And like her husband said, like, she's just always, since those moments, wanted death. And I think that's because she didn't understand why all of this happened, why she's been forced to endure all this, forced to live in all this. I don't know. But I think when she's aware or become awakened to her actual role in this entire ordeal, maybe that might change. And then every step of the way, as Blackthorne is trying to pull away, he's just given more and more and more gifts. And it's not really out of a manipulation or out of a sense of control or anything of the sort. He's genuinely earning them. He feels so out of place and detached, but at the same time, every time there's a moment to stand up, he does. Stands up for Mariko, he stands up for Toranaga. Every time, he still sticks his neck out for everybody, because, you know, he's a part of him is kind of here now. We talked about that a little bit last week as well. You know, Yabu and Omi, they're just stuck in a little bit of a rut right now. All of their plans just continuously just get undone, unmade, and with things as dire as they are right now, I'm not exactly sure if they don't really have any wiggle room to do anything that they got going on. It's clearly frustrating them. And with what we know about the way the courtesan house works, everybody there is watching, analyzing, taking it in. You know, they, as much as anybody, like, they gather their own strength, their own power, their own information as well, because it helps them kind of cement themselves in this hierarchy of everybody else's game. Kind of gives them leverage and whatnot. So, like, that's why Mariko's like, hey, we're in here, you know, it's all about this, sure, but we are being analyzed. Watch how you react, how you carry yourself, your every movement, because it will be noted. You know, Kiko, who has kind of been manipulating Omi this entire time as well, at least whispering in his ear, giving him the kind of courage to act out and do these things, because she's been whispering in his ears all season long, all these different things, almost every time before he made some sort of play or decision. I mean, when he fed Toranaga's son that information that to motivate him to act out against Ishido's men that came in to observe the cannons, you know, you could trace that all right back to her. And then you have that shared look, you know, after she spent time with Blackthorne that night, where she looked at him and she just kind of like glanced away. It was like a retreated look. I was like, huh. Because she did say, it was like, hey, don't worry. He doesn't mean anything to me. Because he was getting worked up about the fact that she was going to be called upon to spend time with him. You know, and everything, you know, he just lost the cannon regiment yet again. But you went from Yabu to him, now to now to Blackthorne, and then his courtesan is now with Blackthorne, and then they had that little exchange, and it just makes me wonder if, like, what happened in there? Was there an exchange? Was there anything of the sort that? Did he even go through with it, or is he just keep putting on airs that he, you know, went through and did the deed and all that kind of stuff, because I don't really know, you know, because he's very attached to Mariko as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, you know, obviously it's the expectation. There was something about the way that whole sequence ended that just left me going like, what's going on? Is she starting to see why everybody is kind of so interested and invested? I don't know. Meanwhile, the council has finally gotten their 5th member, but still could not come together on a vote, and now Sugiyama had to be removed from the picture, and I mean, they now have, yet again, just 4, so like, don't they have to get another member before they can make any other progress? But as Toranaga said, he didn't want war. He was trying his best to find a solution around all this while everybody was telling him we just need to just do this. But now their hand has been forced with what has now transpired, with what is going on with the council, and the battle is to come. But this episode was chock full with beautiful cinematography. Again, one of my favorite sequences in this was that sequence at the brothel when Kiko lined herself up right behind Mariko, just completely disappeared from frame, and just used her as a vocal puppet. You know, it was just a really beautiful scene. On top of everything else, the show is beautiful. Acting is fantastic. Everything about this show has been top freaking tier. And I can't wait to see what happens once we get into the full-on battle and the conclusion of this show. With that all said, guys, what did you think of this episode? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Wherever you want to see the full length reaction, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends: Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, Your Coruscant, Belito, Robert Aguiano, Jeffrey Hale, Jake Cantrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Justin Smith. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.